Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Divan here. And, this is a deck that, I really have been playing for a long time. I recently picked it back up again. Try to do it as best as could. Actually, link summoning, or the fact you can only have like one extra deck monster, has kind of hurt this deck a lot, because there's a lot of times where you'll have like your extra deck monster that's pretty much useless in the extra deck zone. The deck is Evil Source. This deck, I honestly, when I was trying to build it again, I looked for deck profiles online, and I couldn't find anything like close to decent, I guess you could say. So I tried to remember as best I could one of my older builds, threw in a couple of newer cards that didn't exist back then. And of course, now with link summoning and stuff like that, so you gotta play link monsters. But I think this is probably the best way that this deck can be played. You're never gonna win a freaking YCS with this unless if some new broken support comes out. And I don't know, I just always really liked this deck a lot. Picked it all back up pretty cheap. So it's something I can play at locals, have fun with every once in a while, like on our Tuesday when it's our free tournament. I'll probably be playing this Tuesday. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into the profile and just talk when I need to. 3 Evol Tile Najasho. Kind of going to explain what each of them do, because I know a lot of people haven't seen this deck in forever, or maybe they've never seen it before if you're new to the game. Basically, what this card does is when it's tributed by a card effect, then, tributed period, you could be even a tribute summon, you get to special summon one Evil Soar from the deck. The whole point of this deck is the Evil Tiles are all reptiles, the Evil Soars are all dinosaurs, and the Evil Czars are all dragons. So it's like a Digimon type. They used to call this the Digimon deck, because it's like Digivolution, I guess you could say. Then for the second Evil Tile, you play Evil Tile Westlow. He has a flip effect, which is super slow, especially in this kind of format. He lets you special summon any Evil Soar from your deck. You have to kind of be careful, because some of the Evil Soars can miss timing with this card. So you have to, like, I guess, play it the right way, I guess you could say. And even though it is a slower card, you still will get it off a couple times. Then 2 Evil Tile Lagasucho. He's one of the only ones that has like 2 effects. If he's flipped face up, like flip summoned, he can special summon any Evil Tile from your deck, and which will be Westlow or Najasho. And his other effect is when he's normal summoned, you can send one Evil Soar to the graveyard, which works really well with this next guy, Evil Soar Volcano. He's basically like a, I don't even know which Gladiator Beast Reborns. I think it's Equest. No, I think it's Darius. When he's summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile monster, he lets you special summon one Evil Soar from your graveyard. So you could basically make like a rank 4 or go into a link summon. Then 2 Evil Tile Serato. This guy, whenever he's summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile, he gains 200 attack, so he goes up to 2,100. And whenever he destroys a monster by battle, it doesn't matter if it's a token or if it goes to grave, then you get to search for any Evil Tile. I think you can search Evil Tile or Evil Source, so that's pretty good. Big beater for the deck. He's probably the one you're going to be summoning with your combo the most. Then 2 Evil Soar Diplo. Evil Soar Diplo is your bestiary of the deck. Whenever he's special summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile, you get to destroy one spell or trap. And what's good about this card is it can never miss timing. And that's just, something that's really good. I think that's it for the Evil Soar monsters, or the Evils. For the other monsters that I'm playing 3 Cyframe Gamma. And of course, the 1 Cyframe Driver to go with it. This card's really good in this deck, because you're going to be tributing off your stuff, because most of your cards tribute for cost. So you won't technically control a monster yet. If they try to negate your effect with Ash Blossom, or I don't know, some other random card that some random effect. So you're gonna be able to summon this out and still do your plays, which is gonna be really good. And that's the only hand traps I'm playing at the moment. And then I'm playing 3 Evil Diversity. This is basically a rota for this deck. You can search any evil tile or any evil sword from your deck, add it to your hand, but it's really bad because you can only use it once a turn, which really sucks. Then 3 Evil Force. This card lets you tribute one of your evil tiles and special summon an evil sword from the deck. And that monster that summons, it's as if it was summoned by an evil tile. So if you tribute Najasho, you get to summon 2 evil swords, one for his effect and one for this card right here. So this card's like the main card of the deck. It's probably the one you want to, get off the most. And that's why Gamma's such an important card, because when you tribute for cost, you won't have any monsters, and then you can use Gamma if they try to Ash Blossom you. Then 2 enemy controllers for tributing off Najasho, protecting your Westlos. It's just a really good card in this deck because it can become like a +1, or it can give you like an even, because just really good in this deck. But I wouldn't play 3 because then it gets cloggy. And I really like how the Gold Raiders look. Then I'm playing 2 Called by the Grave. This card's just really super good right now. I've seen a couple of freaking hair right there. Seen a couple of deck profiles from the YCS, and a couple of the guys were playing this, and I just know this card's gonna be good, especially stopping Veilers, stopping Ghost Ogres, stuff like that. Then for back row removal, 2 Cosmic Cyclone. You can't really play Twin Twister in this deck because most of the cards in your hand are important. So I guess Cosmic Cyclone's better for this deck. And then 1 Monster Reborn because it's Monster Reborn. That's it for the spells. For the traps, Evil Singularity. This is the card that came out in Primal Origins that made the deck kind of relevant again. And what this card does is, if you have 1 evil tile and 1 evil sword in your graveyard, which you usually do, you can exceed summon any evil sword monster from your extra deck. This is why this deck got kind of hurt by link summoning, because most of the time you'll have like your Logia or your Dolka out there, so you can't really use this card because you don't have an extra monster zone. But this card is still really good, especially with stuff like Dark Holes and Regekis and Kaijus out there. Then 2 Solemn Strikes, Solemn Warning, and a Solemn Judgment. Basically, like this deck kind of plays like Protect the Castle. You summon your Logia, you summon your Dolka, you summon Solda, and you just try to protect it as much as you can. Get an advantage off that. And then for the last trap, I'm playing 1 Burst Rebirth. If you don't know what this card does, you pay 2,000 life points, and you can special summon set any monster from your graveyard. So what you would do is like you can Burst Rebirth this, and then on your turn you can flip it over and use the effect. Or if you have a way to tribute off Najasho, you can bring this back. Or even, let's say you're unlucky enough to draw like a Volcano or any of the other evil swords, you can bring one back from your grave, flip summon it on your turn, and make a exceed summon with that. So yeah, that's it for the deck. 40 cards. It's been running, as consistent as it can, because what's really sucks about this deck is drawing your evil swords, because they're basically like vanilla monsters when you draw them, because they don't gain their effects. And I don't like playing there's another evil tile that lets you special summon from hand, but it's really weak, and it uses your normal summon, and it's just not a very good card. Then for the extra deck, 2 Logia, because you can make it pretty easily. 2 Dolka for the same reason. And then 1 Solda. You can summon this off Evil Singularity, which is really cool. And what his effect is, he can't be destroyed by card effects or anything. He can't be destroyed. And then whenever your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach a material from this guy and you destroy it. And that effect is not once a turn, so that's really broke. Then just random rank 4s. Diamond Dyer, Baguska. King of the Pharaohs is good in this deck because you can search out your evil tiles. Castel, Utopia the Lightning to get over random monsters like towers and stuff like that. Then 1 Doolittle Chimera. The only reason you play this is because it's like Starboy, I guess, for like mermaids. This card's not very good, but it is the only Link 2 that has 2 arrows pointing down, and that kind of helps. Like, let's say you have like a Logia left over after you use its effect, and you have like another monster. You can summon your other monster, get rid of Logia and that monster to make this. Then if you have an Evil Singularity on your turn, you can, summon it out. Underclock Taker, pretty much the same idea. Just if you have 2 random monsters, and then this also helps lower attack, which is really good because this deck doesn't really have a lot of strong attack monsters. So you're going to be relying on stuff like Utopia the Lightning, enemy controllers, things like that. And then one Decode Talker for those random times when you can like steal Underclock Takers or other rank 2s with enemy controller, tribute them off with your own guy, and just keep making your plays. And then one Cypher Lord Omega for the Gamma and the driver. I'm not playing any other level 8s because I think it's probably the best one and just a really good card. So yeah, that's basically gonna show like basically the main combo of the deck, I guess you could say, like what you want to have first turn, because this deck is good, but it's really inconsistent. Like there's so many times where you're gonna draw your evil swords and it's just gonna suck for you. Basically what you want to have is like a hand with this card, either Najasho or Weslow, and this card, or some way to tribute you guys. So basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna set your Najasho, and you set it because if they Veiler it, you don't get the effect. Set it, activate Evil Force, tribute them off, and then depending if you're going first, most of the time you're gonna summon out 2 Serato, and then just exceed summon into Logia or Doka, whichever one you decide. If let's say you're going second, you would like you could do like Serato and a Diplo, and the way that it works out in the chain, they can't like bottomless you and stuff like that, or yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then if you draw Lagasucho, you would do Lagasucho, activate his effect to send a card to the graveyard. So you would probably send Serato to the graveyard. Then you activate your Evil Force, tribute him off. Volcano's effect to special summon the Evil Sword, special summon him, and then you can make an Exceed there. And then if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to set this. And what's cool about Logia is he detaches both the materials. So even if they have like a DD Crow or a Call by the Grave, to get rid of one of them, they can't get rid of both of them. So you fucking flip this, summon your 2 guys, make your Solda, make Logia, whatever you need. And it's just, a really inconsistent deck, but I've always liked it a lot because it's just, one of the first decks that I tried to build when I came back into the game. Because when I came back into the game, it was around Dino Rabbit format, and all these cards were already out. And it's funny because the reason that like Dolka and Logia are popular is because of Dino Rabbit, but they're actually from this archetype. And they never saw play until I know a couple of them topped, but it was like randomly at regionals and stuff like that. And this deck got a little bit better when Evil Singularity came out, and I think it did top a YCS, like it got top 32, but nothing really too spectacular. But I've always really liked this deck, and like I said, it's pretty cheap, especially now since nobody's thinking of playing this. So if you're looking for a deck that's fun, there you can take every once in a while to locals. That most people already have Logias and Dokas anyways, because those cards are always just good. Because random dinosaur stuff always going to come out. And I try to work with some of the newer dinosaur stuff, but I just felt it added more consistency. Stuff like Soul Eating Oviraptor, and it'd be cool to try to fit a Conductor Tyranno into this, but then you'd have to play, like search cards for him. But I don't know. Like I said, I always say more testing will help out the deck. I think the side deck is really important with this deck because you're going to need a bunch of side deck stuff against True Dracos and Pendulum Magicians, because those decks are just so powerful, especially against a really slow deck like this. But yeah, guys, that's it for the video. Sorry that it's kind of a little bit longer, but hopefully you found it interesting, something that you don't see every day, or for you new players, something you've never even heard of, I bet. So till next time, guys, this is your boy Ivan, and I'll see you guys later.